Area DMG.
Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about, remember when we did that Final Fantasy Cup of Noodles thing? So apparently Cloud's a chicken. Apparently, I don't remember. Is that like supposed to be Cecil from 4? Or is that like the one from the first game? It's supposed to be beef. And Lightning is supposed to be shrimp. Yep. So there are 3 different flavors of the cup noodles for this Final Fantasy Dissidia NT thing, and it's beef, chicken, and shrimp. And this is what the back of these look like. Yeah, how does it have the same amount of calories? Whatever. Which one's saltier? Okay, it looks like the beef is the saltiest, then followed by the chicken, then followed by the shrimp. The chicken has the least protein. The beef has the least vitamin A. Weird. Anyways, that's the top of these. It says, "Warm up for battle." And that's the top of these. And if you open up, there's stuff in it that you can get for the thing. Final Fantasy Cup Noodles. There's not really much to say, just wanted to let people know that there are apparently 2 other variations of this for posterity reasons. When, like I said, in the future, your children are like, "Quit telling us a story about how you met your mother," and ask about the Final Fantasy Cup Noodles, you'd be like, "Well, they had more than just Cloud. There was Lightning, another person. Oh, I think that's supposed to be... Is that supposed to be Cecil? Or is it character from the first Final Fantasy? I don't know." What gets me, though, is that they don't have anyone from like Final Fantasy 15. Was it Ignis or Prompto or something like that? I forgot. Anyways, they had 3 chances to get good characters on these Cup of Noodles. You have this Nintendo character. He was never in any other games. You have this character that I think is from one that was on the Nintendo. And then this one from that weird Final Fantasy spin-off they called 13. Yeah. I mean, none of these are Terra. None of these are Vivi. This is not Edgar. This is not Celis. Actually, it would be Terra or Tina, depending on where you are in the world. Yeah. None of these characters are Mog from Final Fantasy VI. You know what they should have done? Really? Instead of I know they want to promote the characters that are in the fighting game and such, but they really wanted to make cool looking Final Fantasy noodles. It would be like, this would be a Chocobo. This would be Ultros from Final Fantasy VI. Yeah. And this right here would be a Moogle. A Moogle. Even though Moogles originally started in Seiken Densetsu 1, Moogles and Chocobo aren't really, if I remember correctly, they're not really from initially Final Fantasy. I mean, we started seeing them around 5, I think? Yeah, you didn't see them in 1 or 2. Or practically, I think the 3rd one, you didn't see them there either. You had dwarves and elves and things. You still had dwarves and elves and things, I think, in 4. I'm trying to remember when Chocobo came into it. I know that you see them in Seiken Densetsu, well, at least the first one anyways, which would be Secret of Mana or Sword of Mana. Not Secret of Mana, it'd be Sword of Mana or Final Fantasy Adventure over here. I don't know, I kind of feel like Dissidia... I feel like Dissidia had a lot of lost potential when I heard, oh, Final Fantasy fighting game, part of me was like, what they really should do is, I kind of like their little engine for that. The engine for Final Fantasy Dissidia is pretty good, but I really wanted them to do characters that weren't just part of the Final Fantasy canon. Like, yeah, you can have at least a couple representatives from each one, from 1 through, 15? But wouldn't it have been cooler if they'd been like, hey, we have other Square Enix characters we can put in this too. Maybe even as DLC, that would have been great. Be like, you can finally have Chrono from Chrono Trigger beat the daylights out of Cloud and Lightning and, well, the other dude. Or you could have all the different characters from Dragon Quest. You know? You'd be like, hey, Dragon Quest. Characters from like Dragon Quest 8, Dragon Quest 7, Dragon Quest 9. All of them. There's a bunch of Dragon Quests. And they all have some great characters. And it would have been cool to battle Dragon Quest characters versus characters from the Final Fantasy series. Or, better yet, why not include stuff from other Square Enix published series and such that got swept under the rug? Like, say, Xenogears, or characters from Secret of Mana, Secret Densetsu 1, 2, and 3, you know? Or Legend of Mana, or those things. Characters from Front Mission. Characters from Bushido Blade. Think about what they could have done. It could have been a Square Enix, just their library of characters, which now includes, for some reason, Lara Croft. And I like that. Imagine if they made Lara Croft like DLC for Final Fantasy Dissidia. Would it really be out of place if she's now technically a Square Enix character? I mean, they own her, so why not? I mean, I kind of feel like they're missing something with the Final Fantasy Dissidia series. I mean, Final Fantasy Theatrhythm, especially Curtain Call, had music from Xenogears and from stuff like Bravely Default, Bravely Second, Octopath Traveler, all these things. Lost Sphere, I Am Setsuna. Come on. Wouldn't it be great if they did that? And I'm just ranting over these cup of noodles. Beef, chicken, shrimp, when your powers combine. That would kind of taste bad. Anyways, each of these includes an exclusive in-game downloadable content with a receipt. Essentially, you have to keep the receipt that you used when you pick these up and use something on that. I don't know. Kind of weird. Oh, I threw away the receipt. Whatever. These are like 50 cents at like my grocery store. So I'm like, thought I'd try them. I still actually, I still have the original chicken, not the one that I ate, not the one that I made, but I had a second one just in case. I still have it. So I have like one of each. Actually, I have two of this one, and then one of these. Because I'm like, cup of noodles. I might eventually break down and eat one of those, but I do think it's interesting that it includes like corn and little vegetables. Because to be honest, nothing improves chicken soup more than adding carrots. Carrots are fantastic for that. Little chunks of beef. I kind of wish that the chunks of beef in this actually looked like that. When you look at these, it's all dehydrated stuff, and then when you add the water, it gets rehydrated. I'm like, yoy. And then the shrimp, you know. I actually would love to have full-size pieces of shrimp. Problem with cup noodles is that cup noodles, like that ramen noodle stuff, the noodles are okay. I would actually, when I make normal ramen, like the other ramen noodles, the ones that come in little packets and you take it out and it's a brick, I actually run that over water before I put that in water. Okay, that seems kind of a little weird, right? That I wash it before I put it into into water and bring that to a boil. Maybe it's because I like some of the stuff that's in these isn't really that, like, some of the preservatives are just washing it off. This contains wheat, soybean, egg, and milk. Milk products. Oh, and if you have peanut allergies and stuff, you probably shouldn't eat this. because it'll inflame that. Oh look, that says rating pending. Interesting. RP. What did that ever? I thought that got rated like what, T or something like that. Anyways, no added monosodium glutamate though, so that's a good thing. And yeah, I've been sitting here ranting about cup noodles in the state of Final Fantasy Dissidia. You know what? Stay down, Lightning. Yeah. Anyways, I've been talking about nothing and rambling for about 10 minutes. But hey, that's how you get to add an extra ad. Anyways, let me know in the comments below which of these 3 flavors you tried. Have you tried them? Did anybody remember who this person is? I forgot. Lightning. You know she's going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. If she's not in a Kingdom Hearts game already, she'll be all like, Sora, come help me save the world of Disney. Oh, good lord. Oh man, imagine if they have like a. What if they have a oh man. Think about if they had a Finding Nemo world in Kingdom Hearts, and for some bizarre reason, you had Lightning as like the Final Fantasy character that just shows up in it with Sora. Be like, oh hey, it's Lightning, but she's a fish, and you're a fish. Yeah, I think you wouldn't hold like a keyblade in your fins. It'd be kind of like that Little Mermaid world, but even weirder. And God, Kingdom Hearts is weird. They really should put Sora in Final Fantasy Dissidia so you could beat him up. That would actually be good. Anyways, have you tried any of these things? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and then make sure you ring that little bell so that you're notified whenever we put together one of these horrifying, rambling videos. And until then, you are now caught up.